Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Seth Shadow here. Hope your guys' this week has been starting out good. I'm feeling much better from last week, so I'm definitely raring to go here. But I can't say I'm feeling too happy right now, especially with the way the market has been moving these days. Especially if you're a Dark States player, which, I'm primarily Brandgate, but a lot of decks I play are Dark States too, even though Youthberk has become my favorite these days. But I digress. Dark States has become pretty much of a luxury when you think about it. Thanks to Chronojet Dragon that's going to be coming out this month, and I'd say that's the biggest factor right now. So many cards, so many staples, and all the high rarity items are really starting to find themselves at higher price rates than almost any other nation in the game right now. Like the effect triggers for crit and draw, you've got Stem Deviate Riley, are now like $8 to $10 a piece, and still going up. And if you want to get the SPs of them, have fun with that. But I'm not talking about those today. Today, I'm going to talk about the Michiru Hazama trial deck, which came out a little while ago. Because as you can see, we're already looking at the insanity of Dark States here, as this deck is now $60, with a market price of $40. Why? Let's go through and take a look. We already have at least 3 foils on the first 4 cards that are all potentially worth $17 plus. And Friend of the Netherworld Ling, its foil and its common, have really rocketed up in value ever since the sellout of this guy and this guy. It is a generic card you can play in different Dark States decks, but this is still ridiculous when you have so many other ways to add soul between like Valkyrie Performer, Brainwash Swirler, Mikani. I don't even want to go through the whole list, but things are getting too expensive here. Jewel Core's regular variant is $10 right now, and then you got the generic crit from this deck, Clen, $2.79. Basically playing out the same way as the Skyfall Executor's Dragon, which I've talked about a few times. And speaking of Skyfall, Knight of Piercing Kadwala got bought out too. $15 for the base rarity when you can just buy the foil right now for $14.50. They're really close in value, kind of like what I talked about with the Blitz order for Lutetia the other day. You'll just want to pick up the foil at this point and hope that we get more listings here. But as far as I can tell, these trial decks didn't get additional printings, which is probably part of the reason why everything has gotten so expensive these days. It's not good at all. We really need more prints of these decks, and it would be really nice if Bushiroad basically kept them as part of the first release print, so Elementaria Sanctitude would also be more widely available. And it's not just the trial decks, but set 6 generic cards, like your perfect cards, crits, and heals, have been going up in value too. Malice Dragon now has a close to $150 price tag for the market price. Palladium Zeal crossed $275 for its base listing. Custodial and Sparkle Reject are basically hitting the dollar mark plus. Planet Wall has fallen out the most thanks to these second printings of set 6, but it's still close to $2. Dual Pressure Dragon is pretty low on listings, but it's still pretty affordable overall, so that's not bad. Lively Breath has a lot of availability right now. Daring Knight is a little on the low side. Sokyo is starting to get down there. Alexandra is okay. The problem right now is Brandgate. Alterate Sphere Dragon and Star Aggression Dragon are really low on quantities, and Star Aggression's already $2, with a market price that's already $1 plus. This is a common crit, mind you. I talked about how set 6 is supposed to be the haven for all of these staples, because set 1 really jacked up the price for a lot of these. Set 6 is starting to follow suit, much sooner than I expected. I don't understand why. It just... because I don't see the player base of this game really increasing that much, so I don't understand how, with so many more printings we've been getting, all of these cards are just going up in price. maybe more people are actually entering the game than I thought, and I could be completely wrong. But to change tangent a little bit, I do want to go back to Lyrical Monasterio Set 1, because we still have the 2023 retrains of the boss units coming up later in the year. So I wanted to go over a few of the cards to watch out for, especially if you wanted to pick up high rarities, like for Aim to be the strongest idol. This card is down from its highs, where it used to be like a $12 to $20 card. Now you can pick it up for just under $10. And the double R is still available for $1 or lower, so that's not bad at all. But once we actually start getting the reveals for some of the effects of the new cards like Clarissa, which is what this card works for, we're going to see some price increases, whether it just be that players want to play into these decks or the decks actually become significantly more competitive. Some cards have already seen buyouts though, like Elkul for Celestial. There's only one listing available for the SP at $20, and the Triple R is still available for $1 or less, which is good, but this is your sign that if you've been trying to wait out the SPs, it's not a good time to be waiting them out, especially if they're staple in the decks as they are. Like Six Flower Fractal is still $5.50, but its market price is in the $8 range. And the double R is above $1, so you definitely want to be careful of this one, especially with the listings being at this level. I would anticipate that this could potentially go up. The only thing is that Lauren Arrow was already the strongest meta deck coming out of Lyrical Set 1, so how they can continue to keep it strong is beyond me. But still, be careful of these. If you're still trying to max rarity Lauren Arrow, this is your time to do so. But for those of you trying to build Youthberk, you do have a bit of a reprieve right now. Set 6 cards are down in price. Skyfall Arms, the main card that you want to play in the deck right now, is down below $20 again, and could potentially see a drop to $15, though I wouldn't bet on it, as this card is still a 4 of in the deck and is basically the central piece of what makes the deck even work. So $19 is not too bad to pick up. If you do see it drop to $15, I'd just pounce on that immediately. Rebel Form Gust. This one has already dropped below $15. Usually between 3 to 4 copies to play in a deck. And yeah, overall has a good amount of $15 listings. I'm not sure if this card really has any more downside to go to. Maybe it could go to 12. I'm not sure. But I don't think we're getting any new Rebel Forms anytime soon. So Gust and Tempest are still basically the go-tos when it comes to building a Youthberk deck. Now, a card that does have a lot of potential to see cuts, though, and that's why it's so far down in price, is Schneisel. Schneisel has dropped to $10 overall and will be competing for space with some new Set 9 support like Dolbray. And you have the potential to play Carebray in a Youthberk deck, depending on how you want to play it, but Schneisel is still a solid card, so it being below $10 is pretty good at this point. Moving on to Minvera Rising, and of course, I talk about that and I present to you Minerva herself. The serial number rarity is still above $1,000, and if you want specific numbers, there are a few listings that have photos to indicate which numbers you're going to pick up for that, but if you don't want to pay this abnormally high price tag, or I shouldn't even say it's abnormal, it's kind of obvious given how popular Minerva is, but the FFR is actually not too bad right now at 210. It is the mid-rarity of the whole thing, but again, it's Minerva, waifu tax, so the mid-rarity is actually not bad considering its market price was in the 300s far earlier. And as for the low-end rarity, the Triple R, we've fallen below $15, which is, I'd say it's to be expected. Despite the fact that Minerva is a really strong deck to play, it has fallen out in Japan in terms of both popularity and price, so there is still potential downside for this card to follow if we end up following the Japanese market, but that may not come until Set 9 actually comes into play, so until then, 15 might actually be the generic price to stay at. Wave Loss, also from set 8, has been dropping in listings overall, but still has a $10 price tag, so not too bad. Given that a lot of triple Rs from Minvera Rising are actually starting to hold their value, particularly if they're from Brandgate or Dark States for the most part, and most of the others have really just been dropping off. The FFR is available for $85 plus right now, but its market price is lower than that, so we'll have to see. This card is not generic, but it can be played in either Eva or Archetype, so if you're looking to build either of those decks, well, you can hope the price can fall out a bit more, but with the listing quantities as low as this, I wouldn't count on it. And finally, Volcano Monster Gokterra. For some reason, there's only one listing on the FR of this one, while the double R has plenty of listings underneath $1 right now. But why this card has had a buyout to this point of $5 is still beyond me, as I really only see this played in Archetype. I don't think Eva would even consider playing this card at all, given that it's basically just retire and then it's an 18k when it attacks, and that's about it. You would still play Obscured well beyond playing this anytime soon when it comes to Eva, but it could just be emotion. Archetype is a bit of a popular deck, even though it's not really meta. You might see a top here and there, but it's a pretty fun deck to play from what I've seen. But that's all I can say in regards to this one. Thanks guys for watching, and if you found the video useful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.